I don't know where that talent came from. I don't think it's in the hand genes. And maybe the Tierney pool or the Sternberg pool. Over the years, not a phone call went by without Tommy telling me about the boy's latest accomplishments. He once told me that it was no accident that he waited until he was in his 30s to have kids, because he wanted to be more financially stable and able to provide them with opportunities that we never had. He loved the three of you all very much and expects you to do great things. And we all need to make sure that that happens. When we were kids, people always confused Tommy and me because we looked so much alike. We were not technically Irish twins, which means that you're born in the same year. Tommy was born 13 months after me. Nevertheless, the fact that we look so much alike may have accounted for our lucrative business as wedding altar boys at Incarnation, which was our Catholic church in South Minneapolis. Having two matching altar boys must have made for good wedding pictures. It kept us flush with spending money. Much like Billy and Timmy recently pooling their money to buy an Xbox, Tommy and I pooled our money to buy a Huffy Tamlin bicycle in about 1969. That was the pride of our lives at that time. We rode that bike all over South Minneapolis, around the lakes, and on Minnehaha Parkway. And this was long before there were bike paths or bike lanes, and no one would ever thought of wearing a helmet. You may not realize or remember that in October of '73, after we had moved to Long Lake in Isanti, we had a middle of the night house fire. And it was Tommy who woke up first and got the rest of us out of the house safely. Tommy was a high school junior at the time, and I was a senior. And our family spent one entire month living in 2 hotel rooms in Cambridge. I think it was an experience that taught all of us that life goes on in spite of what seems like an insurmountable disaster. After high school, our lives diverged. I went to college and Tommy briefly dropped out of high school and had a short stint in the Army. That Army stint was short enough that Tommy was able to re-enroll and still graduate high school on schedule in 1975. This experience was what our dad would have described as falling in the mud and coming out smelling like a rose. But that's slightly derogatory. I think it better stated as showing an incredible sense of resilience and determination, something Tommy continued to show throughout his whole life, especially this last year. Tom's success back in 1975, remaining in and graduating high school, was in no small part due to the support that he had from Joe and Wanda Mount. Joe and Wanda were there for Tommy 33 years ago, and they've been there for him ever since, right up through this past weekend. While I was at the university, Tommy eventually went to trade school. Then I moved to California, where Tommy also lived in 1981 and 82. By the mid-'80s, Tom was back here in Minnesota with back problems and having surgery after surgery as I was running marathon after marathon. By the late 80s, and then into the 90s, Tom was married and raising boys, and I was eventually going to law school. Our lives were very different, and in many ways we just agreed to disagree. I was, however, the best man at Tommy and Val's 1992 wedding, as you can see in the slideshow, which will still be playing during the luncheon if you haven't seen it yet. And that's a great slideshow. It was created by Tom's old friend Doug Walnut. It's like a 14-minute Hallmark commercial. Not to make any political endorsements, but I think this past year has taught us that sometimes surviving life's challenges really does take a village. And this has been one incredible village of support, stretching from Hutchinson to St. James, to Isanti, to all parts of the Twin Cities, to Naples, Florida, to Black Hill, England, and many places beyond. Lastly, they always say that blood is thicker than water, meaning that family relationships are stronger than those with friends. Well, Tom and Val seem to be in some pretty thick water. They have an incredible network of very good old friends and lots of newer Hutchinson friends who have provided them with emotional, practical, and financial support this past year. I can't begin to mention names because I know I will forget some of you. You all know who you are, and I hope you realize that I and all of Tom and Val's family thank you.
Tom, I put them on. This is a sad time for everyone here today, but my mission is to fulfill a promise that I made to Tom Hanna. I'm a friend of Tom Hanna's that dates back almost 30 years. And while I've not spent much time recently with Tom and his family, my regard for Tom and Val and their family has not diminished. You know, I don't even feel any guilt for not having spent that much time with them lately, because Tom Hanna does not do guilt. He doesn't give it, he never took it, but he always enjoyed whatever he could get from people, and he always invested in them heavily. The friendships that he invested in is all manifested right here before all of us, and this is Tom's tribute. Kind of defines the ideal friend, doesn't it? So, a few months ago, Tom cornered me in his living room away from everybody, from friends and well-wishers, to confer with me. Carly said, "You have to do something for me." You know, Tom could turn a question into a commitment before you ever even knew what hit you. "Sure, buddy," I said, "what is it?" Carly said, "When I'm gone, you have to tell my story to the people." Of course, this is a request. You know, and it's an honor that you cannot deny an old friend, especially when one is staring at you and his mortality at the same time. So I thought, gosh, standing in front of all these people, this is going to be really tough. But you know, Tom faced so many tougher things his whole life. And when you get to talk about somebody as neat as Tom, it's not difficult at all. So, my take on Tommy, and this is my take, is still probably not so different from what most people will say about him. You know, the first time I met Tom took place back when I was joining the technical team at Nord Photo Engineering, 1979 in downtown Minneapolis, a scary new place for me. Downtown, new people, new stuff. And out of the crowd came this young, exuberant, obviously knew what he was doing kind of guy, and he took me by the hand. Of course, I was 4 years older and a little more educated. It didn't matter. You know, he treated me not like a competitor, but like a teammate the first minute I met him. What Tom did for me back then is something that will stick with me the rest of my life and has helped me become who I am. Tom, the teacher. Tom will always be the teacher for me, and I bet that everybody here can draw inside and say, Tom is the ultimate teacher. You know, he went out of his way to teach me about electronics, way better than any classroom knowledge I ever got. He taught me how to get there in a hurry, to be the hero on equipment, to make customers feel good. But Tom also taught me where the best parking spots were in downtown Minneapolis. He also taught me where the 25-cent drinks were at Williams Pub. He also taught me about the free, lavish hot dog buffet. I mean, Tommy, you are worth an awful lot to me. You know, the very first time I went to California, Tom picked me up at LAX. He taught me how to get in and out of the freeway system without having a nervous breakdown. And he also taught me, in the middle of the most stressful moments of my life, when to step back, take a minute, step outside, and smoke a cigarette and relax a second. God bless you, Tommy Hanna. So, well, Tommy taught me many things. The biggest thing he taught me was the importance of other people. You know, if you look at Tommy and you look at this group, nobody has blurred the lines between friends and family more than Tom Hanna. When I was first getting to know him and I would go over to his apartment in South Minneapolis, I was never sure who was family and who were friends. It just didn't seem to matter with Tom. You know, those kinds of values are something that I've treasured to this day. and I didn't realize where they came from until I had to sit down and put it on paper. The story of Tom Hanna is so full and so rich of loving characters that we all have to smile, and I dare you to try to say Tom and not say and Val. Tom and Val, what a team. How good they've always looked together, how good they always make us all feel when we're together with them. And how incredible that Tom should ever find a woman as beautiful as Val, and that they could take each other and make the world such a better place. Yeah, Tommy, what a story, man. I'm just so happy to be a part of the story, as small as the part might be. You know, his life is full of achievement that is intellectual, it's courageous, and it's amazing. The man kept beating the odds. I've seen him go to Vegas, where we all gave him his money. He's going to be the winner. And I've seen him go to the hospital, the Mayo Clinic, and beat all their odds. He just keeps doing it, doesn't he? And so I get to be a part of this, and you are all part of this story. And I think we all need to feel happy and feel honored that we all contribute to the Tom Hanna story. You know, he's taught me in life that even when he leaves us, we look around today and he's still teaching us. We all need to keep relearning the value and importance of all of us that are here together. And so, you know, Tommy's story can go on, but his best new chapters are called the Brian chapter, the Billy chapter, and the Timmy chapter. Oh, listening to Denny talk about Tom loving to talk about his kids, there's not just pride there, because Tom looked at his sons as a new, better part of the world. You know what, guys? It's not even going to be hard to live up to your dad's expectations because he taught you how to do it. I like hearing stories about school and music and basketball, but it wasn't what Tom said, it's how he said it. Yeah, it's kind of fun in the middle of some of the pain and agony he went through to where his best medicine were his family and his friends. Okay. Tom never said anything, was ever misspoken, there were no fights. Those kids always got along. Tom also taught me it's okay to tell a fib every now and then, just to make it. So, while Tommy taught us that we can overcome so much, and the tales that I can tell you are endless, the single flash for me of Tommy is him walking up my driveway on a hot summer night, carrying a cooler, and I'm not going to tell you what was in it, but it was only a few months after the Mayo Clinic had told him he would never walk again. When I asked him how in the world he pulled this off, all he could say was, "I'm not going to miss one of your great parties." Wow. You know, they say some people can make lemonade out of lemons. Tommy made fine wine from old potatoes. And we all got to share from his cup of wine. So Tommy, thanks for letting me tell your story. For letting me be a very small part of this giant story, and for your guidance and friendship. I could spend 12 hours up here trying to do justice to all the versions and chapters, but you'd probably strike me with lightning. But I will request that we all continue this story. I know I want to do my best to make this a happy ending to a very sad day. And we can all do it because Tommy the teacher has taught us that we have to live as best as we can, to make wine from old potatoes, and that the trinket and the secret is not what you're doing, but with whom. Tommy, you're always going to be with us as long as we remember these things. Thanks, buddy.
myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be no sorrow, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. It's weird. When I perform, I still feel like my dad's gonna come up here and tell me my fly's open. tell? Heaven from hell, blue skies from pain. Can you tell the green field from a cold steel rail? A smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell? And did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts? Hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change. Did you exchange